excited that you guys are all here today. We're just going to wait a couple minutes and let everybody kind of trickle in. I did get some pre-advance questions by my email, so P.S. thanks for that. I really appreciate it. That's always really nice for me to be able to get the questions in advance so that I can answer them properly. I hope you guys are having a really awesome start to your holiday season and Thanksgiving, and things are getting back to normal. So I want to give you guys a couple of things that I want to have you looking out for. So number one is that in January, we are going to be doing a brand new overhaul of Tea with Brittany Lee. We're going to get a new branding, new logo. The page on the website is going to get updated. And it's all going to be beautiful because we have a gorgeous graphic designer who does amazing work. So I'm really excited about that. So be on the lookout for that. And one of the other things that I want to do for you guys this year is I would like to take time and talk about your marketing strategy for 2019. We have an awesome marketing team at VRM. And so we've put together a blog series on what you should be focusing on if you're focusing on marketing and you don't have a service that does that for you, then what you need to be doing to kind of keep pace with everybody else, with your competition, and to increase your bookings. So if you're interested in getting that series, that's going to actually be in the email. And if you fill out the questionnaire at the bottom of the blog, you're going to be entered into a drawing for you to win a free assessment, basically, of from our marketing team, and we'll assess your marketing and see how you're doing and just help you, give you some ideas on what you could do a little bit better and how you could help increase your sales with high booking season coming. All right, so those are all my little announcements for you guys this afternoon. So I want to go ahead and welcome Barbara Kendrick. She is the co-host today on Tea with Brittany Lee. She is going to talk to us about RedAwning and some of the awesome things that they have that they feature. And we're really excited that we're a partner with RedAwning. So I just want to turn it over to Barbara and say thank you so much for being here today. It's really awesome having you on.
You're welcome, and thank you for inviting me and letting me be on your Tea with Brittany Lee. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I'm here to talk more about the RedAwning group and how to explain to you all how you can get more bookings with less work, and you can join the only one-stop shop, one contract business solution for global distribution. So let's dive into this. So looking at the change in our marketplace, if you see, vacation rentals are really making an impact on the lodging industry. And you all are giving the hotels a run for their money, which is great. This means guests are looking for non-traditional lodging for their vacation. And not only are they looking for non-traditional lodging, we're also seeing that the trends of the traveler are changing and the guests are changing. Which brings me to the next subject. Who is your audience? So speaking to a lot of PMs recently, you would ask them that question of who their audience is, and they would say, oh, well, definitely our repeat guests. That's who we market to, that's who's traveling, that's who we want in our properties. But you need to ask yourself, and I asked them, what is the age group of your repeat guest? The majority of them said as young as, say, 45 and as old as 70. But they all agree that they're seeing that the trends of their traveler are changing, and the repeat guests are dwindling, and they're decreasing every year. What they're not noticing is that the audience is changing to a different generation. And we call this generation the millennials and the Gen Z. Gen Z is also known as the I generation, or they call them the screenagers. These generations have an average of 5 screens that they look at a day. And to accommodate these generations, you need to be sure that you understand how they think and how they book, and make sure that your properties are available for them to see. I thought it was interesting, it's in the slide, 71% of Gen Z respondents said that they would get a part-time job and save money to go on a trip. And 49% of the combined respondents of Generation Z and Millennials said they would sell even their clothing or furniture to go on a trip. I don't know about you, but I have children, they're all Millennials and Generation Z. And I asked them, you know, are you interested in buying a home? Are you interested in, of course they want a car, you know, they do buy a car, but they're not interested in buying a home. They're not sure if they want to stay in one place for the rest of their life. They're more interested in experiences over possessions. So this generation, even though how annoying it may be to you, I know sometimes they're annoying to me, and we may not understand them completely, they're not going to change, and they're there, and they are the next traveler. They are our future. So that is your audience. So how are you marketing to them? That brings me to online distribution. So RedAwning focuses on your online distribution. We've added more exciting online distribution channels and technology to increase your visibility and bring in more reservations to optimize your revenue. We also help you take advantage of reaching your current clients and the next generation of travelers by being visible and being online and having your properties available for instant booking, which that is what they're requiring. Now, there are pros and cons with being online and on the distribution channels, and I'm going to go over those with you. So the challenges are the complexity, being complex of the API connections, the high commissions that they have. They have multiple manual extranets that you would have to manage on every single channel, and this is if you were working directly with them. They have channel by channel display quirks and requirements, so they differ depending on which channels that you want to be visible on. They have reservation procedures, and you would have to keep up with key components, to make sure that you have healthy content and quality listing scores. So you would have to keep a certain ranking and keep that up to make sure that you are visible. Now, there are certain channels, and I'm going to talk about Booking.com as being one. It's very important to be on that channel. However, 30% of their credit cards decline. And that means that if you were working on this channel alone, on your own, then you would have to reconcile every single one of those and make sure that you let them know if a credit card declined or if there was a no-show. And that's a lot of work. They also have customer service issues across multiple channels that you would have to take those calls. For example, if there was an overbooking, you would have to make sure that those guests were accommodated and that you take those calls and you do it in a timely manner, so on and so forth. However, the opportunities are, going back to Booking.com, they're the #1 advertiser in the world, and they have 10 times the traffic of HomeAway. Expedia has almost twice the amount that Booking.com has, and 80% of their transactions occur post-airfare purchase. Expedia and Booking.com each spend over $1.5 billion per year on Google Ads. So what that means is that you have your brand site. It's super important to push almost all of your availability to your brand site. Unfortunately, it's tough to show up in the top rankings on the Google search for your area, since Booking.com and Expedia and those key players have inventory in those areas. So you tend to fall, 3, 4, or 5 in the listing because of those large distribution channels. Well, being on them is an opportunity to get free placement and marketing wise on Google via Expedia or Booking.com. So not only do you have your brand site, but you'll also be on Booking.com or Expedia, showing up on Google in the area because you're a part of that distribution platform. Now, there's also changing behaviors of travelers, as I was talking about with the next generation, that want to book last minute or instant booking, and that could be tough for a lot of property managers. So we assist with that as well because, RedAwning is the full business solution, and we're the largest global distribution network in the world that actually takes we're full service. So we actually take those phone calls for you. And, you know, we would help you manage your listings on those distribution channels and all of the issues that come with it. Now, as I was talking about, we are a full service A to Z global distribution company. We distribute to every channel that you could ever want. From Expedia to HomeAway to Booking.com, we merchandise your listings, and we optimize performance. We also take care of the payment processing, so you're not holding any of that valuable revenue hostage until you get another form of payment if something was to decline, if the credit card was declined. So we would take care of that for you. We also optimize performance. So that means that we make sure that your photos are up to par, that we have your descriptions there, that we have your landmarks, which is super important. So you're going to show up on those listings when people are Googling a landmark in your area, or if they're Googling the city, you're going to definitely show up and you'll be one of the top performers in those rankings. Top performance on the OTAs is our goal. We want you to perform better with us when compared to doing it on your own. So the more channels that you have us manage for you, the more powerful your results can be. And we're also happy to start with just a few channels if you don't want to be on all of them. So you can pick and choose which ones you feel more comfortable with working. Now, in the first section, you'll realize that RedAwning has many buckets of channel partners that we own. We own Blizzard, we own Perfect Places. Perfect Places is one of our legacy sites. Travel Pro Rentals, which is a really interesting and unique channel that we have. We currently have 8,000 travel agents, and we plan to grow that number to 10,000 in 2019. We recently hired a gal from Kempton Hotels, and her job at Kempton was to grow their travel agent base and wholesale relationships. So we're really excited to have her working at the RedAwning Group. And she's doing a phenomenal job, and that channel is actually growing. In the middle, you'll see the major vacation rental and OTA channels that we have. We work with Booking.com and all their affiliate sites, which is Priceline and Kayak, Expedia and all of their affiliate sites, Airbnb, HomeAway, TripAdvisor, FlipKey, and VRBO. And then newly announced channels that we're pushing to, one is Choice Hotels. So Choice Hotels is a new vacation rental tab on their site, and we're the exclusive provider for the inventory for Choice Hotels. They have over 30 million loyalty members, and now they can book your properties if you are with RedAwning. We also have eBay. eBay is using us for a study right now, or I think it's beyond the study because it actually was successful, but they have over 20,000 of our units right now where people can book on eBay, and that has been going relatively well. Now, another thing with being on the channels, another issue you may have is, how am I going to look if I'm with RedAwning, and what are my listings going to look like, or how am I going to be successful on these channels if you choose not to even go with RedAwning? So I'm going to go over that with you. Here's an example of a listing that we have on TripAdvisor, and we're going to go over the checklist of your success. So you want to definitely look at your listings and look at your profiles, and you want to make sure your images are the best they can be. Is your content and information accurate? And do your reviews reflect well on your property? Are they correct? Sorry, I can't talk today, but are they really reflecting your property? So we want to make sure that that's true and that they're giving good reviews and they're accurate. The next generation of travelers definitely are looking at reviews. They are what you call the retail nightmare generation, because they really don't care about brand anymore. They care about what others are saying and what their peers are saying about the properties that they're going to. And they want you to communicate how they communicate. So it's very important that your reviews are accurate and that your pictures are accurate. And also, are you converting at a high rate, and is your acceptance rate at 100%? Now, I don't know if any of you are on Airbnb. I know that a lot of PMs, they say it's a headache working with Airbnb. We can eliminate that for you. RedAwning has been Airbnb's largest single advertiser since 2012 when we partnered with them to open new regions such as Lake Tahoe, Hawaii, and multiple markets in Colorado. We maintain a close relationship professionally and geographically and have learned what it takes to optimize ads in this unique environment. We have an API distribution with them, so that means that we directly connect from your, from your property management system into RedAwning and then to Airbnb, so there's no disconnect there. We also are constantly photo checking and quality checklist of the onboarding and how your profiles are looking when they're online. We are always having the rate and availability checks to make sure that the prices that we put online are accurate and that the guests are booking it at the correct price point that you want us to advertise at. We have 24/7 inquiry response and payment processing for all your bookings on Airbnb, and we also respond to the reviews and customer resolution. As I said before, RedAwning is definitely a full-service reservation processing company. Now, HomeAway has made some big changes lately, and their move to instant booking has been and will be a challenge for property managers unable to provide around-the-clock attention and support. We can help you on HomeAway to lighten your load and increase your conversions and make sure that you maintain optimal ranking. Now, we are one of HomeAway's software preferred, we actually are HomeAway software preferred partner. We have over 9 years of experience at processing the instant bookings, and we have weekly meetings with HomeAway for updated specs and requirements. So we're always updating and optimizing our techniques for improved conversion. Now, we spoke a little bit earlier about Booking.com. I'm going to talk about them just a little bit more. We take pride in our listings, and we're proud to say that we're one of Booking.com's preferred connectivity provider. This channel is a must to be on because of the amount of exposure that you will receive both domestically and internationally. So RedAwning will assist you to make more bookings and be successful on Booking.com. There's one contract that would be, or I don't like to say contract, it's more of an agreement that you would sign to be with RedAwning distribution partners. So you wouldn't have to contract with every single one of these online distribution partners. You can just have one agreement with us. And we have a global agreement with Booking.com, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. We could take care of it all with one agreement. They're the largest supplier of vacation rentals. We are the largest supplier of vacation rentals to Booking.com. We also validate the credit card payment, so you don't have to worry about the declined credit cards and holding valuable revenue without, a validated form of payment. We would take care of that for you. You would only have guaranteed reservations that would come from RedAwning. We also have the weekly meetings, quarterly reviews, and updated specs and promos regarding your performance factor on Booking.com. So that's huge. If you were to work directly with these channels on your own, you would have to speak to a market manager in every single one of these channels individually to see how you're performing and what more you could do. With RedAwning, you would have one account manager, and we would speak to them for you, and we would compile all that information in one place and let you know. So Expedia is the largest online travel company in the world. They're breaking into the vacation rentals and expanding in a huge way. Now, they still are testing with HomeAway rentals. So just because you're on HomeAway and VRBO, it does not mean you're automatically on Expedia. I just want you all to know it's very important to be on Expedia, and if you are wanting to take advantage of that and for this channel to send reservations your way, let us know. We can definitely help you out with that. Again, just like Booking.com, it's one agreement with us and it's full distribution that includes Expedia. We were #1 ranking for performance out of 305 connectivity partners that work with Expedia since Q3 of 2007. So that's even the connectivity companies that work with the hotels. And we're very proud to say that because we are a vacation rental, we are a vacation rental company. So that's a huge accomplishment. We have full service reservation processing and centralized payment approach. So there's no extra dashboards or headaches. Like I said earlier, we now have vacation rental listings on eBay. So here's an example of the listings that we have. RedAwning announced an expanded distribution to 1 million more travelers. So eBay shoppers will now be able to purchase vacation rentals in the new RedAwning store under the lodging section of the travel category. So we had a huge demand and it was highly requested, and we're happy to announce that we launched our smart portal. We offer this to all the property management companies that work with us. And the smart portal gives power at your fingertips to manage and view calendars, reservations, and also to create and customize your pictures online. Don't worry, if you have a vacation plan, you can also download the RedAwning Smart app and manage reservations and communicate with your guests, or even update your photos on the go. And what that means is any of the profiles that we are managing for you of your units, if you need to change a picture or if you even need to communicate with anyone that made a reservation, you can do that all through the app. Now, we value all of our partners, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to actually hear me go on and on of how wonderful RedAwning Group really is. I really appreciate it, and I would like to thank Brittany for inviting me as well. But I also wanted to open it up for any questions or whatever Brittany would like to do, and give you the slide with my name and email if you want any more information, or if you'd like me to jump on any meetings with you or give you, you or your colleagues a demo, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barbara. That was awesome. And I did not know that you had kids that were millennials. That's a really interesting fact about you that I learned today in the webinar. And also just seeing, that you guys really take the advancement of technology as seriously as we do. That was really awesome. I do have a question that came into my email earlier. And the question is, it's a little bit long, but it's got a little bit of context to it. So I want to make sure that I read the whole thing properly. If a reservation is made through RedAwning and the guest chooses to purchase travel insurance through us instead of when they're booking through RedAwning, how would that be handled on VRM? Because the rental rate in VRM would be lower than the actual rate due to the percentage that RedAwning adds on top of our rate. An example would be, our rate is $1,500, but RedAwning has the rate at $1,650. If we sell the travel insurance to the guest, they need to be covered for the entire $1,650.
So you would have, usually, I can tell you how other property management companies do it. It would be up to you how you would sell the travel insurance, and it also varies by state, right? I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're good.
So it also varies by state and your requirements, what you can do by state. But most property management companies, what they do is one of two things. They either add the travel insurance in somehow of a fee. They do it that way, or they put it in their rental agreement or lease agreement about the travel insurance. And after the booking takes place, the rental agreement goes to them, and they collect all the information from the guest in that rental agreement and let them know how they're going to be charging that travel insurance or if it's required at all. So that's one of two ways that you can do it, but it's totally up to you. We do give a damage protection of every single reservation that we bring in from RedAwning, and that's a $3,000 damage protection on those reservations. That's totally in-house that you would just call your account manager if you wanted to put in a claim. Anything to do with travel insurance would be on you and how you would charge it to the guest after you would get that reservation.
All right, awesome. That's really good info. And I'm not seeing any other questions, but my Zoom window is acting a little funny. So Barbara, if you see any more questions in there, please absolutely go ahead and read those off and pull them up. But my Zoom window for some reason has been acting a little strange lately and not letting me pull up any questions or anything.
Actually, you know what? Mine is too.
Okay. Yeah, very strange.
It's not coming up at all. I see where we logged in, but the Zoom window, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very weird. I'm going to have to email them about that because it's obviously not a me problem. I thought it was a me problem. Which, you know, is not unheard of. So
I can do stop share. Oh, wait. Let me click on Q&A. That came up. Let me see if there's anything in it. It says no open questions.
All right, perfect. Well, I just want to thank everybody for being on here today and just tell you that I appreciate you guys' support. If there are any topics that you would like us to cover on Tea with Brittany Lee, please just send me an email, Brittany@Virtual Resort Manager, and I'll be happy to add those to the schedule. This webinar is for you guys, and we want it to be helpful and useful with tons of information and great facts about the things that we offer at VRM. So if you guys have anything that you would like me to cover, please feel free to let me know about that. And I want to thank Barbara again so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. It was really awesome having you on the webinar. So thank you for all your time and energy in getting this going. It was a really great webinar. So
glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you in December for our Tea with Brittany Lee, and I hope you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving. Bye.